In a Tokyo left to rust, a city teetering on the edge of tomorrow, a strange silence has fallen. Not the peaceful kind, but a chilling, unnatural quiet. 15% of the population stands frozen, lost in a waking coma, their eyes open but seeing nothing. They call it the standing coma, a plague born from a mysterious, unheard frequency. This is where we find Haru, a young Foley artist, a sound chaser obsessed with the one thing this city has lost: true silence. For him, every creak, every whisper, every heartbeat of the city is a note in a symphony of decay. He hunts sounds for a living, but what he truly seeks is their absence. His quest leads him deep into the skeletal remains of a subway station, a concrete tomb buried beneath the city's pulse. The air is thick, heavy, dead. Haru sets up his equipment, his highly sensitive microphones ready to capture the soul of this forgotten place. He hits record, expecting nothing but the faint hum of distant machinery and the drip of stagnant water. But then, something impossible cuts through the silence, a sound that has no business being there. A rhythmic, wet, scraping noise. It seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, but as Haru hones in, he traces it to a solid concrete pillar. There are no pipes, no wires, no logical source, just solid, unyielding concrete, and this sound clawing its way into his recording. Back in his cramped apartment, surrounded by screens and speakers, the city's noise a distant hum, Haru isolates the strange recording. The scraping sound is unsettling, primal. He loops it, listens again and again, the rhythm digging into his brain. It feels familiar somehow. He decides to stretch it, to pull it apart and see what's hiding inside. He slows the track down, 100%, 200%, 300%. At 400%, the scraping melts away. The monstrous noise dissolves, and in its place, a voice emerges. A whisper distorted by the digital manipulation, but unmistakably clear. It's his mother's voice, his mother who died 10 years ago. And what she's whispering sends a jolt of ice through his veins. She's whispering his current GPS coordinates, a voice from the grave, tracking his every move. The world outside his apartment suddenly feels hostile, alien. The city's ambient noise is no longer a canvas, it's a threat. Every sound feels like it's watching him. He has to know more. His search for answers leads him to Ray, a brilliant but cynical signal analyst who lives off-grid, hidden in the city's digital shadows. Ray isn't surprised by his story. She's been tracking the frequency for years. She pulls up a brain scan on her monitor, a chaotic explosion of color and light. This, she explains, is the brain of a standing coma victim. They aren't comatose. Their minds are processing data at an impossible rate, 1 billion times faster than a normal human. They're not asleep, they're overclocked, burning out from the inside. And then, she tells him about the hunters. Shadowy figures in sealed hazard suits, their faces obscured by dark visors. She calls them the tuners. They appear wherever the frequency spikes, wherever someone gets too close to the truth. They don't kill, they prune. They erase people from the equation, silencing those who start to hear the signal. As she speaks, a proximity alert flashes on her screen. They've been found. The hunt is on. A high-stakes chase erupts through the labyrinthine alleys of a vertical slum, a chaotic city stacked upon itself. Haru and Ray scramble through neon-drenched corridors and over precarious sky bridges, the tuners always just a few steps behind, their movements silent and unnervingly precise. After a narrow escape, Ray unrolls a massive, holographic map of Tokyo. It's covered in thousands of glowing red dots. Each dot, she explains, is the location of a standing coma victim. They seem random at first, scattered across the districts. But then Ray zooms out, and a terrifying pattern emerges. The dots form a perfect, intricate diagram, a flawless acoustic representation of a human ear, stretched across the entire city. The buildings, the streets, the very infrastructure of Tokyo, it's all been rearranged. The city itself is being transformed into a colossal receiver, an antenna designed to capture a signal from somewhere beyond their understanding. As the weight of this revelation crashes down on Haru, he catches his reflection in a dark screen. He leans closer, his heart pounding. His pupils are no longer still. They are pulsing, dilating, and contracting in perfect time with the wet, scraping sound he recorded in the subway. The frequency isn't just something he heard, it's inside him now. It's changing him. There's only one place left to go, the source, the core, a monolithic broadcasting tower that pierces the smog-filled sky at the city's heart. Infiltrating the facility is a descent into a living nightmare. The walls aren't metal or concrete. They are lined with the standing, thousands of them, their bodies fused with the tower's machinery, their skin stretched over wires and circuits like a biological membrane. They are the living components of this infernal machine. As Haru gets closer to the epicenter, the frequency intensifies, tearing at the walls of his mind. It's no longer just a sound, it's a weapon. It digs into his deepest traumas, forcing him to relive the day his mother died. He sees the accident, the chaos, the sound of screeching metal and breaking glass. But this time the memory is different, clearer. The frequency shows him the truth. That sound he's been chasing his entire life, the scraping, rhythmic noise. He realizes with dawning horror that he caused it. It was the sound of his mother's locket scraping against the asphalt as she lay dying. A sound he buried so deep, it became a monster in his memory. At the heart of the tower, the truth is finally revealed. The tuners are not government agents or corporate enforcers. A tuner removes its helmet, and beneath is a face that is almost human, but elongated, ethereal, its features blurred as if vibrating at a different frequency. They are our descendants, humans from a distant future where sound has replaced physical matter, where existence is defined by vibration and frequency. Our timeline, our reality, is too dense, too quiet for them. They aren't invading, they are terraforming. They are tuning our reality to a higher frequency, making it habitable for their own existence, even if it means overwriting ours. The standing coma victims are the first phase. Their minds are the processors running the conversion. There's no negotiating. It's a fight for reality itself. As Ray holds off the shimmering, phase-shifting tuners, Haru scrambles to his Foley kit. If they can build a world with sound, he can unmake it. He starts creating a symphony of chaos, a cacophony of anti-sound. He smashes glass, crushes metal, records the sounds and loops them into a destabilizing wave, a counter-frequency designed to shatter their control. The tower groans, the structure vibrating violently. But it's not enough. The core signal is too strong, anchored by the consciousness of millions. Haru looks at the central console, at the pulsating energy at its heart. He understands what he has to do. To create true silence, he must become silence. He has to become the mute. In a moment of pure resolve, Haru takes two sharp, metallic styluses from his kit. He presses them to his ears. The animation shifts, the dark, gritty world dissolving into an abstract explosion of vibrant watercolors as the sensory overload peaks. We don't hear the act, but we see the result. He slams his hand down on the console, broadcasting a Zero-Decibel Pulse. The concept of absolute silence, weaponized. A silent, concussive wave erupts from the tower. Throughout Tokyo, the standing coma victims collapse, their bodies finally their own again. They fall to the ground, breathing, crying, human. The city wakes up. Months later, we find Haru in a small cabin nestled deep in a forest far from any city. The world for him is now completely silent. He is totally, irreversibly deaf. But as he sits on his porch, a look of profound peace is on his face. He has finally found his true silence. He picks up his old, trusty sound recorder. A small smile plays on his lips as he presses the play button. The speakers emit nothing, not a hiss, not a hum. Just silence. But on the device's small screen, the digital level meter is screaming. The bars are maxed out, stuck in the red, indicating a sound so powerful, so immense, it exists beyond the range of human hearing. Haru watches the silent chaos on the screen. He smiles, and his eyes turn completely, impossibly black. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the abyss, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that question reality itself.